It is your favorite YouTube channel, How to Guitar. My name is Joey, I have long hair, and I like totes and bosses.
Hello, today I'm joined by my friend Charlie Mitchell, and we're gonna go through some of our favorite guitarists. He's gonna give 5, I'm gonna give 5. So how about we start off with your honorable mentions?
Okay, well before we even get into that, most of, if not all of my guitar players, or my top 5, are guitar players from the 80s. And I do love guitar players from the 80s, but there's a lot that I also love today. So my 2 honorable mentions would have to go to Jason Richardson and John Petrucci from Dream Theater.
They barely made it, so once John and Jason they see this, they're gonna be really bummed out that they're not in our top 5. So sorry guys.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
Do I? No.
No?
No, I think
No one, you only like 5 guitar players?
I only like 5 guitar players, and one of them is me.
What spot is he at?
He's at like S rank. So Charlie, how about you start off the list?
Numero 5. Alright, anyway.
You said number 15.
Alright, number 5 would go to Paul Gilbert from Racer X and Mr. Big and as a solo artist. Paul Gilbert, he's just pretty much just known for being just one of those typical fast-playing 80s guitar. Oh, let me talk about him.
No, you don't deserve talking. This is my channel, my talk. What?
Actually, if you didn't see the intro, you would know that it's my channel.
Okay. Go ahead, fine. Talk about your guitars.
Thank you. Anyway, I like Paul Gilbert.
Stop that.
Dude, I swear, you touch my guitar, I'm literally gonna rip the pickups out of your majesty.
Would you like to know what my number 5 pick is?
Not really.
Alright, I guess we're moving on to your number 4 pick then. I gotta go to Michael Akerfeld from Opeth. If you saw my last list, you know that a certain band named Loaded Diaper hit number 1. But if you watched all the way to the end, you would have known that I actually said Opeth is my favorite band, which is true. For me, it's not necessarily the lead playing of Michael that I like so much.
Talk faster. You're so slow. Opeth. Michael Akerfeld is a rhythm player.
Excuse me? I can talk faster than you can play guitar, so how about you shut up? Fine, I'll talk faster. Michael Akerfeld is a guitarist from the Swedish death. His playing is very atmospheric, and it serves the song really well. And it's not necessarily the most technically impressive stuff, but melodically, everything just works together in perfect synergy, and the riffs are really good too.
Number 4 is Yngwie Malmsteen. So, a lot of people actually don't like Yngwie. That's okay, but they just think that he just only plays fast. And if you actually listen to more of his catalog, you would realize that he's actually a very underrated composer.
Yeah, you idiot. Jesus Christ. Stop thinking Yngwie plays fast. God, this guy.
Get a load of this guy.
Get a load of this guy, alright?
Yngwie is also a really good stage performer, and if you watch him, he's like jumping around, he's like throwing his guitars around, which is really cool because when you're playing stuff that difficult, it's, a lot of people will just sit up there and they just won't move and they'll just play a million miles.
But Yngwie, he's throwing guitars, hitting people over the face, kicking, stomping dirt in people's mouths.
Not eating donuts.
Not eating donuts at all.
No, I don't eat donuts. You don't eat donuts? I don't fucking eat donuts.
He's just got some really good riffs and solos, and I just like his playing. It's like very influenced by classical music, which I think is pretty cool.
Some might say neoclassical. I don't know. I've never heard that before. I'm just speaking my mind. I don't think anyone's ever said that.
No, actually, that's the first time I've heard that.
Yeah, I'm a really smart guy.
And I love his Fender. Oh.
Alright, so now we're moving on to my number 4 spot. And he happens to have to do with this guitar I'm holding right here.
And this one. Because it's a 7th string.
No, that's just not right. That's just...
And John Petrucci influenced Jason Richardson.
But that's the most vague.
But they
don't even.
They did a tour together.
Alright. But yeah, my number 4 is John Petrucci from Dream Theater, who was number 3 for my favorite bands. Generally, his playing is super influential on me because it got me into a ton of other bands that I probably wouldn't have gotten into if it weren't for John Petrucci and stuff. And those people you'll see later on the list. So stay tuned, watch till the end. You probably won't get anything but a sense of wasted time.
That's pretty much all YouTube is.
So
Especially your channel.
Yeah, I know. Love when it's scared.
What's the big my number 3. It's number 3.
Number 3.
Would be Edward Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen was extremely influential in my developing years. Obviously, I'm still developing.
Yeah.
You know, the more you talk, the less I develop. He was extremely influential becoming a guitar player because he's the first step into fast playing for most people. And he's he's also a really good live performer. I mean, he just gets up there and he's like jumping around, having a ball,
He's having an absolute ball.
And a lot of his riffs and solos just like really rubbed off on me.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. A lot of his riffs just absolute. In my opinion, Eddie Van Halen is actually the greatest guitar player of all time, and it's actually not just my opinion. Like, it's a fact. Like, you can look it up. Like, there's no room for argument whatsoever.
Yeah, look up greatest guitar player of all time. This is Eddie Van Halen. Fact. Quote Charlie Mitchell. It's there, it's real.
There's a bunch of reasons why I think he's the best guitar player, but that would be a whole separate video on its own. So I'm gonna not get into that, and I'm gonna let you continue on to your number 3.
So my number 3, we got not one but 2 guitarists, and they're the duo from Archspire, Dean Lamb and Toby Morelli. I found Archspire a couple of years ago. You know, I'm just gonna repeat myself from the last video when I talked about that.
Because you have no new content because you're stale.
Yeah, I really don't have any ideas. But their playing is ridiculous, and a lot of people, as he was saying earlier, shut up! A lot of people sort of look at this kind of playing and think what they would think about like these 80 shredders, that they don't have any feel, which I disagree with. They've got a lot of really interesting composition, and not just with their riffs and stuff, but with the whole song, the way they just arrange everything is really cool. And just, the riffs are sick, the solos are sick. I like their playing, and you should too. We're reaching the end. The number 2 spot.
Keep in mind that just because these are our favorite guitar players right now, doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be our favorite forever, except for my number 1. My number 2 spot goes to Jason Becker from Cacophony, and as a solo artist, because Jason Becker, for those of you who don't know, was this absolute monster of a guitar player.
They're really frightening. He was like really scary looking.
So he was really good, and he actually went touring for the first time when he was 16 internationally with Marty Friedman from Megadeth. So he got like a really young start, and then at the age of 18, after recording David Lee Roth's solo album, he got struck down with ALS, but he's still been. What, you gonna say something?
Didn't Steve Vai do David Lee Roth?
No, Jason Becker did, but then after Jason Becker had to quit, Steve Vai came in.
Okay.
Or wait, or maybe Steve Vai came first. Well, Jason Becker wrote A Little Ain't Enough, which was his gold album, that was pretty good. But if you listen to Jason Becker's stuff now, it's actually mesmerizing to listen to what he can write without being able to talk or even move his mouth, for that matter. It's actually like mind-blowing. I can't even write that stuff and like I can function. When I listened to his 2018 album, like pretty much every song in there made me tear up. He's a unit of a songwriter and of a guitar player. Ah, yes, Marty Friedman.
My number 2 is gonna go to, yes, Marty Friedman, as he said. So,
mama!
What was that? Marty Friedman is
a unit.
Most of the people. Can out. No, out. Get out. Wave. Mine now.
Okay.
Marty Friedman is the guitarist of Megadeth. He's in Cacophony with Jason Becker, and he has a solo career right now. And he's ridiculous. His style of playing is very exotic and weird, but in a good way.
Because he lives in Japan now.
Japan, exotic and weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he's not entirely wrong.
Yeah.
But
Think about it.
I really love Marty Friedman. Megadeth is one of my favorite bands, and for those of you who don't know, we're covering Rust in Peace together.
All 4 songs.
Yeah. I don't know why, we're only doing half of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just goes to show how much we both like Marty.
Anyway, my number 1 favorite guitar player of all time, without a doubt, will be my favorite forever,
Without a doubt.
is Mr. Randy Rhoads from Quiet Riot.
Give it up for Randy, everyone.
Rest in peace, Randy. Fly high. Flying high again.
So why is Randy your number 1, Charlie?
Because he might be the only guitar player. Actually, no, that's not true. No.
He might be the only guitar player. You know, all these other guys didn't even play guitar. You know, John Petrucci is actually a world-renowned drummer. The only guitarist is Randy Rhoads.
He's one of the only guitar players who can play blistering stuff and still appeal to all sorts of different people. You're not gonna find someone playing, you know, all these tapping licks and these legato runs. You're not gonna find any other guitar player who has those songs playing in like the Super Bowl and stuff like that. I've actually been listening to Randy Rhoads ever since I was probably like 5 or 6 when I first got into Randy Rhoads, and like he's always been just such an influence on me. He's just such a nice guy.
Let's go with it. Let's go with it.
No, Randy Rhoads, he just seems like a really nice guy, and he has a very strong classical influence. And if you listen to the song D off of his Blizzard of Oz album with Ozzy, you will hear his dedication to classical music and his classical guitar teacher. And did you know that right before he died in a plane crash, he told Ozzy that he was going to actually consider quit, and he was going to actually go back to college and get a degree in music? But you didn't know that. And now he's dead. We all miss him. Fly high, Randy.
Fly high. Alright. I guess he's taking care of the background music while I talk about my number 1 favorite guitarist, who happens to be... What the hell are you doing? Alright, so my number 1 favorite guitarist was number 2 in the Favorites Band video. And it's Tosin Abasi, because... Oh, 80s, you know, the guitarists were so much back better when they would just... When they did that, are you kidding me?
Yeah, actually.
Tosin is one of those really rare cases of someone who just came and just flipped the guitar on its head and made it a bass, because that's basically his like thumping and is just ridiculous, and it's really inspiring me. And like selective picking, he's been doing a lot of things on his YouTube about that. And he's just a huge inspiration to a lot of stuff that I play. So yeah, that's our number 1.
So boring and bland. Why are you so boring? You have the personality of a butter sandwich.
Okay, thank you for watching this video. This was a lot of fun to make. Go subscribe to my friend Charlie on YouTube. He just started out recently. And see you later.